What is up, guys? Systematic Psycho here, and today we're going to be checking out a little bit of Star Citizen. I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about Star Citizen and kind of where some of the more recent events that have been happening revolving the development of Star Citizen and kind of where I stand and what I'm doing in Star Citizen. So without further ado, we are in the asteroid hangar. I recently acquired something that allowed me to do that. So I was just actually checking out the asteroid hangar. I wanted to see what it looked like. Also have access to the really fancy, nice-looking all-white hangar, but I kind of like the asteroid hangar. I'm not sure what I'll end up going with by the time the game releases, because you'll have a choice of what hangar you wanted to go with. But for right now, I'm kind of digging this. It's got a cool utilitarian look. Oh, yeah, I think. I guess, actually, we're probably not going to be able to do too much from up here. I think the first thing is, let's go down and check out that Retaliator. Let's talk about some things that have happened. This is not a safe elevator. Yeah, there we go. So, recently, we had our Gamescom, Gamescom, and we had a, holy shit, a multi-crew and kind of like a quote-unquote big world demo where you could see ships jumping around. There was a derelict ship, there was some boarding mechanics-ish semi-shown, and a few other things. But yeah, so a big chunk of like some of the stuff that we've been looking forward to for the final game have been kind of shown there, at least their version of it right now. And yeah, it's actually looking pretty good. It's a little rough around the edges. The demo, of course, was done live, but there is a press version that if you go on their website, look for the press version, you can look at that one. That one's probably a little bit better. For the social module update, I'd actually recommend the live version because he explains a little more of the stuff. It's kind of weird for it being silent on that. This right here is just an Avenger. We're going to skip past that. There's tons of videos on the internets about that. I mean, even this ship too, but I'm just kind of excited about it, so I wanted to look at it. But yeah, so the social module is also pretty cool. It's basically, well, by the end of the month we'll have our hands on it, but it's basically a way that you can actually get out and interact with people other than floating around and shooting your glitched out laser pistol at people in the current version of Arena Commander. And I do apologize if you hear some fans in the background, but hopefully it's drowned out by some of the game audio. But this game is absolutely eating my PC alive. I'm actually running this game at 1440p on its max settings, with a GTX 970 and a 4790. But yeah, so it's actually running fairly well. I don't have many hang-ups. You can tell the FPS is not quite 60, but maybe 60 at some times. So we're just gonna go and hop up into this thing. There's actually quite a few bugs with this as well. I mean, if I go into certain parts of the ship, I'll fall through, and there's some glitches and stuff, but I think it's as of the latest update that broke a few things. Not really a big deal right now, because there's no use for the ship other than walking around in it, but some stuff needs to be touched up. Once again, no big deal. It's all in development. It's a good excuse for now. So actually, we have a toilet in here, so we can take space poops. I got a shower. We got all kinds of stuff in here, some lockers and stuff. So I'm hoping these kind of things will actually be functional by time game releases, so we can store weapons, toilet paper, and other useful things. Let's see. So over here, I think, is another compartment. This actually leads around to the back. So I think, yeah, this is just a hallway that leads around to the front. Okay, I kind of got lost where I'm at. So we can climb up this ladder. Before I do that, because I think the ladder's kind of bugged too, and I don't think it's been fixed. We're up front here in the cockpit area, and we can actually just go and hop in the seat, kind of show you what we're looking at here. But this is actually one of the ships. Okay, one of the ships we actually saw get flown in the large world update, or whatever you want to call it. It was actually pretty cool watching some of the systems get utilized and watch 6 people. I don't know if it's actually 6 people. It might have been like 3 or 4 people manning a ship at the same time. We're gonna hop out of here. We're kind of bugging out hardcore. But it was really cool. And then actually, right after they showed all these demos at Gamescom, they for a limited time released or actually put these things out for sale. The a limited allotment of certain special rare ships. Yeah, I'll check that out last thing. So I actually decided, hey, I've already spent enough money on this game. Why don't I spend some more? And so that's what I did. I ended up spending, I think the base is 150, and then soon I will actually purchase the modules to go into these cargo bays. They also announced the module system, which is something they've been hinting at for a while now. But so I have a forward torpedo bay and an aft torpedo bay, and I'll be able to swap those out with cargo modules, living modules, they're torpedoes right now. There's a dropship module for the front, so I can kind of pick out all these kind of things. Of course, if I pay the selected amount of money for those, so it can get a little bit pricey, but I picked up the ship for $150, which is actually a good deal for this ship. But if you're considering it's a video game unreleased, it's not a good deal because you can't quite use it yet. But it's all on your level of hype. I mean, you can fanboy out like I did, or you can be reasonable and sit back and see what happens. So that area was glitched out back there, but I'm pretty sure it's just a second access to some manned turrets, and I think in total it takes 6 crew to crew this ship. There's 5 turrets, which is crazy. So, and then there's a pilot seat, and there's this engineering station. But I think one of the turret gunners is expected to come down here and use this engineering station. This thing actually folds up. It's a screen. You can access all kinds of stuff. But yeah, so there's that. I actually look up front and we'll check out the front of the ship. So yeah, but there's going to be a module system for the ship. I'm going to definitely check that out and see what that's all about, and probably pick up, I'm thinking a few cargo modules. I think that's reasonable. So I should fall through here. Yeah. And I think I fall all the way through because the torpedo bay is also glitched out, and yeah, we fall out, but I can try getting out of there. Also, Arena Commander, has been patched and updated, and just if you're unaware, Arena Commander is the dogfighting module that they've been talking about. It's basically our chance to fly ships that we own and kind of put them to the test, shoot at people, see how the ship mechanics are, go on the forums and complain about them. So they've actually polished that up quite a bit, and after this I'll switch to some gameplay that I actually just did. So yeah, fell through there. Lots and lots of glitches. Lots and lots of glitches. There's space. You're not actually supposed to be able to see out into space here. It's just an asteroid hangar. And it should be all pressurized, but, it's a lot of space. So yeah, the Arena Commander module has been touched up quite a bit. There's now a system called Rec, which you can now buy or buy upgrades, but like they're temporary in-game upgrades to where it's like weapons and ships to use for a limited amount of time, and they're just for Arena Commander. They're not going to carry out into the persistent universe or anything. It's just a way for you to test out ships, play with ships, and actually have a goal and something to work towards other than just going out to shoot shit. I mean, there's it's like, I guess, for those who played Insurgency, there's no unlocks or anything, so it's not a compelling reason to actually play that game other than just to play the game for the gameplay. And there's games like Battlefield and Call of Duty where they reward people, and that's why you most likely have spent countless hours on one of those games versus a game that has no reward system. It's just kind of it gives you a reason to play it. So that's something I've been kind of excited for. I actually got me a pair of these Omni-Sky 4 lasers. I think they're 4, I can't remember, but they're size 2 lasers, and they actually deal quite a bit of punch. They're low rate of fire, a lot of damage per hit, and then I got my gimbaled Gatling gun, but I use a flight stick, so I'm not really actually using it for its gimbalness, so it's always fixed forward for me. But yeah, so there's the Rec, there's, let's see, what else did they add? They actually added a party system, so I can actually go and show you this right now. So I can either go up here and go into electronic access, but I think I'm going to actually just go over into the SimPod and show you this that they've added probably a couple of updates ago. So I'm going to go in here. Yeah, it's actually been a minute since I've been on Star Citizen and have actually done anything in it. I've probably skipped about 3 or 4 updates, just kind of waiting for the game to feel a little more polished, give me a semi-compelling reason to play it, because before there was no reward system, there was not really much to play the game for other than just to fly your ship, and I wasn't so interested in that right now. Let's see, so we can click on Arena Commander here, and this will all boot up, and this will shoot up a bunch of screens and stuff and give you a bunch of options. So basic flight training, there's a flight training mode. I have not messed with that yet, but I know how to fly the plane, and or fly spacecraft, and basically do everything I need to do. But if you're a brand new pilot and you're just jumping in, I would recommend doing that because I'm sure it has some interesting stuff. But yeah, I'm sure there's tutorials online and stuff like that. There's Drone Sim. It's basically a single player version of the online mode, so you can do a free flight, or you can fight the Vandal, which is the AI enemies in waves, and there's Spectre Match. So we'll click Spectre Match for now, just so I can show you this. There's private match, explanatory, and public match. So right here I have some friends of mine, and then when they're online, I can invite them to my group. So basically, it's like on the website you have to be friends with people, so you have to follow them. You have to go on their profile and hit follow. It's kind of like the same way Twitter works. Somebody follows you, you follow them back, but they're not your friend until they follow you back. I don't know. But so there's free flight, squadron battle, cooperative vandal swarm, classic race. You can invite people. I think now you can have up to 8 people. Last update it was 4 people. What else is there? So there's okay. So I'll just run down the game. The capture core is like a capture the flag. Free flight, squadron battle is a team v team. Cooperative vandal swarm is a 2 to 4 v waved survival fight. Classic race. It's a race around a track. You can pick from 3 racetracks. Yeah, 3 racetracks. And then there's battle royale, which is just a free for all. So I'm going to go ahead and cut to the footage, and we'll be right back. Okay, so as you can see, we are in Arena Commander here, just loaded up into a match. I think it takes somewhere, with the amount of people playing now, it takes anywhere from 10 seconds to maybe 2 minutes midday to find a round for Star Citizen. So I was able to hop into a round and just start getting right into the action. And so this is Squadron Battle, it's team v team, like I mentioned. And you can notice a lot of upgrades if you've seen any previous versions of Arena Commander. The HUD is really cleaned up, and the audio's been cleaned up. Actually, I'll cut it down right here. Listen to some of this audio.
25% shields recharging. Base shield under fire. Begin scan. Shields recharging.
So for what that's worth, you can hear some of the different sounds and stuff going on there, like the engine effects, the boost effects, kind of been redone, and they're actively redoing them. They, according to all the development stuff that I've heard, they're redoing their audio system in a more modern audio system, and it's allowing them to implement more features audio-wise, and just do all kinds of neat stuff with the audio, make it sound amazing. Because that's one of the things that Star Citizen was lacking on its initial release was audio quality. It didn't feel like a compelling space game. It had some pretty subpar sounds, but I mean it could have been all due to that. I don't really know. But notably, it's I guess you could say it's competition, but it's a game that it gets compared to very often is Elite Dangerous. I mean, you boot up that game, it's amazing. It sounds awesome. They have some really convincing sounds in there. Yeah, maybe there's no sound in space, but it'd be weird to have a silent game. Yeah, it just wouldn't feel right. But yeah, so audio has been touched up on. Gun balance, ship balance, all that other kind of stuff is being flushed out now. It's not perfect. One of the latest controversies is the Cutlass, which is a fairly large ship they added in their Arena Commander, but for only one person to fly, although it's a multi-man ship. There's my only death right there. I got spammed with missiles. But yeah, so it's a large ship, and the brochure says it's, or what they've talked about before is talked about, it's supposed to be a fast ship, and it's lightweight and it's kind of cheap, so it's not the strongest ship, but it's it has a decent armament, and it's like a glass cannon, and it's fast. So, and it doesn't really stand up to its fast name, and it's all supposed to be a pirate ship. So you're supposed to basically prey on the fat, slow cargo ships, which it's fast enough to do that, but it's just not fast enough to justify its glass cannonness. The fact that it's kind of thin on armor and all that kind of stuff, so people are kind of complaining about that, but we'll have to see. I mean, we don't really have ships and stuff to shoot at now, so you can't make all your judgment calls with the kind of stuff that we have right now. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of questionable choices being made, but I mean, all in all, you can kind of see stuff coming together. I really can't wait for the large world stuff. Being able to just jump across to the one moon to attack some players, and then jump back to the base to land and do all kinds of stuff like that. But I mean, it is coming together. Another sort of big thing is there's been a controversy with mouse and keyboard users versus, joystick users. So as you can see here, I'm doing a lot more movement. I'm able to strafe around my target, but it's up to me to put my crosshair or my lag pipper on the target that I'm shooting at, which is not so easy with a joystick, but more so easy with a mouse and keyboard with gimbaled weapons. So the Hornets, as you notice, all these people will be loading them up with lasers and then being able to, since the Hornet's full of gimbaled mounts. I think all the mounts on the Hornet are gimbaled, meaning that you can swivel the mouse and stuff like that. So with mouse, you can actually swivel your mounts around your screen and basically point at what you want to kill as long as it's in front of you. And so it's super easy for a guy to jump in a Hornet, load up a bunch of these, lasers that do high damage per second, and you can spam them and basically fly around and maybe not be able to do so much aerobatic stuff, but a lot of, just point and click and kill. I think the bane of a lot of the mouse and keyboard users is other joystick users, but a lot of people do use mouse and keyboards, so they're not able to fly around and avoid the fire and stuff like that, so they can, so they kind of get shit on by other mouse and keyboard users, especially using a Hornet fully loaded out in lasers. As like I said, I'm able to fly around them, kind of do all kinds of strafing maneuvers and stuff like that. And yeah, so another thing I'm kind of wondering about is how the combat, one-on-one's going to be, because it seems like it's just a lot of, we shoot each other head on, we fly past each other, and then we shoot each other again. I mean, right here, I'm basically up on this dude, just lighting him the hell up, trying to kill him. He's lagging a little bit there. I don't know what the hell's going on, but yeah, just the whole one-on-one combat. I mean, I'm kind of wondering how that's gonna be, later on in the game, and what's gonna make it compelling. What's gonna make it feel like a dogfight? Because it's with 6 degrees of freedom and a space-like environment, have an atmosphere where you're only flying in one direction. What's going to prolong the dogfight, add dynamic to it, add defensive flying to it, because right now it's just keeping your nose on the target and keeping your guns on the target without, taking so many hits and getting around their guns, which is not as romantic and as cool as you'd think it would be, like maybe documents and stuff that you've heard of old World War II dogfights. So, only time will tell with a lot of things in Star Citizens. There's a lot of concerns, and a lot of stuff they're doing right. I mean, it looks fantastic. It looks very good. I mean, we don't even have full, options on graphic settings. We don't have options to anti-aliasing and stuff like that quite yet. And it still looks very good, and it's only going to continue to look better with a lot of ships. Even like my Avenger here is going to get a total redo. As you notice, things like the screen down at the bottom of my screen, there's actually a few different panels on my my Avenger that have no function at all. And they don't on most ships either yet, but this ship's going to get a total overhaul within, hopefully, the next upcoming months. They were doing some concept art on that last I heard. And there's going to be also many variants of that, and it's also going to be part of the modular system. So, I mentioned I'm able to change out the different modules and the cargo holds and torpedo base and stuff in my Retaliator. The Aurora Avenger has a kind of a cargo space in the back of it, and I guess that's going to be the modular part of that. So you're going to be able to replace that with different things. Like right now in the back there's prison cells. Maybe there'll be a seating arrangement or a fucking pool table. I don't know, something really cool. But yeah, so we'll kind of see. A lot of stuff is getting reworked, and it's coming along pretty nicely. I'm kind of excited to see what we have in store. I kind of wish that I could go to sleep and wake up and it'll be release of this game, because I want kind of the mechanics to be a surprise, because I noticed it's kind of ruined a few games for me, following them so closely and hyping them up so hard, and then they come out and it's like, oh yeah, I kind of already know everything. There's not really much to learn, but I'll probably still follow this. I have an organization, and actually I probably should have plugged it a little bit earlier. I'm the CEO of an organization known as Squad 9, known by all 18 of our members, but yeah, we're actually working on a lot of stuff right now. We're going to put some stuff together and hopefully start really pushing out some of the cool stuff of the organization. Biggest thing is we're just waiting to hear about game mechanics and stuff like that, but hopefully I have some updates in the future about the organization too, so if you guys want to play with me or hopefully tear up the universe together, feel free to join. There'll be links and stuff in the description. Anyway, I think that's about it. Holy shit, that rock. But yeah, I think that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe some more Star Citizen stuff in the future to come as well. Anyway,